Thank you a lot. Hard job.
Thanks, Doc.
Muziek in de achtergrond is ook
The Santon head office for Sarco here in the heart of Paulsdorf. I'm in the boys' room sitting in a very strange seating position. I have my leg up. Obviously I had an operation last week which I'm still recovering from. That's why I probably look pale. But with me in the virtual commentary box I have Savvy. Savvy, how are you doing?
Well, thank you, Dylan.
Great to hear it. Guys, we're going to be starting off the driver's briefing. Remember that this is the first round here for the GT5 Championship. We are here at the Algarve, also known as Portimao. We are in a 40-minute race. The weather will be clear, mildly cloudy, times 2 slots, and then we'll go back into another clear. Please get those thumbs up when you are ready, and we'll go straight into our 10-minute qualifier. And with that, Savvy, myself and you will just head off into the chat party.
Good.
Suppose I need to go back into the game. And there we have it. The thumbs are all up. We can now go racing. So if you have just joined us on YouTube, how's it, guys? We were planning to go into Twitch as well, but I'm seeing that the Twitch feed keeps coming up and going off, so I'm not quite sure what is actually happening there. Colin, I see that you've sent good luck to the guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really cool to have you. We would have obviously much preferred you to have us racing with you, but nevertheless, if you do get a slot later on in the week, later on in the championship, please do come and join us. Savvy, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Dylan.
Awesome, fantastic. Guys, like I mentioned, we did have a little glitch just in terms of getting our sound sorted, so please just drop us a note there on the live stream if Savvy's voice is coming through okay. A great lineup we have here, Savvy. We did have 16 drivers that had entered, but unfortunately we have lost Colin due to work commitments. He's had to pull out, and Turbo Shoal, he is unfortunately not racing with us. He's away at work. Okay, Savvy, give us somebody good. So we're kicking off this first season here at the Algarve track. This is definitely one of my favorite tracks. Just the elevation changes, it really does make it extremely interesting. on board with Bruno, our double championship winner for last season. Himself and Marius, for the Silverback Racing. Marius unfortunately not joining us in the season, but Bruno will be looking to make it a third win in a row here for Sarco in our third season for 2019. So I must apologize to the guys that are coming through on Twitch. I keep seeing that signal comes up and then it keeps dropping. So I do apologize about that. We'll have to figure that out for the next one. And a message there from Rudy, looking forward to his race. Directly after this we will have the Bravo tier that, as you can see on the screen, this is the Alpha tier. This is the creme de la creme of the Sarco racing community, where they put in a 10-lap qualifying time, and this has allowed them to be racing with us here in the Alpha tier. But do not despair that we will have both races. This first race is the 40-minute format, is that we have broken up the formats. We're going to be doing two times 20-minute races as one of the alternate formats. So they will do two 40-minute races and then have the two 20-minute races. I just want to bring up the information. I can tell you what the next race will be. So the next one is at the Motorsports Arena in Oschersleben on the Oschersleben A track. That is a 40 minutes, and then we head to the Snetterton 200, and that is the two 20-minute 20-minute races. That's going to be pretty interesting because the strategies would need to change slightly. You're not going to have the advantage about being able to settle in. You've got to get up to the front as soon as possible and then really start settling in there. Little tea break here for me, Savvy.
Yeah, so basically, as already mentioned this evening, I mean, what an exciting evening to have going here. And I tell you what it's going to be down to this evening's racing. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the car. We know it is the GT5 series, and what an awesome motor vehicle this is. This is the G40 series. They do come in a number of different versions, but this is a straight 4, and I can tell you right now, this particular version is available for only £39,999. So if you are interested in getting one of these little monsters...
Is that just for the standard car, Savvy, or is that fully race spec?
That's just for the standard car, nothing else. It's
Wow.
a 1.8 liter, 1.8 liter, weighs at that particular point in time around about 800 kilograms, and let me tell you, it's a 155 horsepower little machine, and that's standard stock off the floor for the GT40, which is what we're looking at now, but
100%.
not the race spec. Not the race spec.
Cool, Savvy. I see that the guys have started putting in those laps. There is just under 5 minutes left of this qualifying session. Jake's the Black Mamba. He's put in a 157, a 73 and a 7, so he puts himself top. Himself and the new boy on the block, that is Christopher. He joined us halfway through the LMP series. He landed up winning the last race and landed up taking that win away from me. I was extremely livid because I thought I had that win in the bag, but I just could not close Chris down, and he took that win. And then Durkee, he's in third place, and our reigning current champion Bruno, he is down in fourth. Oh, shout out to Ross. He's just put in a message to say that he's missing out so bad. Hi everyone, I will be back soon. Ross, our Scottish international, we are waiting for you to come back and join us. Get your stuff sorted out, and please, we definitely need to be chasing some cats. Come on.
Yeah, so just Dylan, a little bit about the track. I think that's all good and new. I mean, here we are It's Portugal, if I'm not mistaken. It's got about 14 turns. And I reckon it's to the spec that I know it's probably about 4.3 kilometers distance-wise.
Well, if you'd like me to just check your facts, it's 4.692 according to Wikipedia.
There we go. 4.6, there we go. So looking at Wikipedia there, I mean, I'm just going from memory now. So, I mean, I can tell you now, it is actually an FIA Formula One test track as well.
Yes, it is.
And,
do you know who set the fastest lap time here, Savvy?
No idea, Dylan. Idea. I've got no idea.
We'll just put into perspective that the guys are currently just breaking that 2-minute marker. We have Nicolas Lapierre. He did it in the Orica team. That was in the Peugeot 908, the HDI FAP LMP1, and he circulated just about 29 seconds faster than they're currently doing now. A 1 minute 30.68 is the fastest time around here in an LMP.
Yeah, but I think 20 seconds is a long way.
Most definitely. And that is just over 1 second quicker than an A1 car. So that's pretty interesting just to see the comparison of those cars.
Yeah, I tell you what, at the moment, just on board with Bruno, and as mentioned, very much a former champion status from Bruno at the moment. And he seems to be, I would say, just trying to find those lines at the moment. I mean, he's got his 2 minutes and 5:41.
Yeah, so he's 1 second behind the pace, but I can see Jakes and Christopher, they are extremely close. And in some of the practice sessions I was involved in a couple of days ago, is those two were battling it out, and I unfortunately could not keep up to their pace due to certain circumstances. Let's not mention why. But really, I think those two are going to have a great battle here today, and it's great to see Dirkie way up there.
Yeah, Quicksilver. Nice to see him right up there, as mentioned by Dylan. Dirkie is obviously his name, but I know him as Quicksilver. I tell you what, a nice time set from him, and not too far off there around this. I mean, as you mentioned, I think it's going to be clear, then a little bit cloudy, a little bit later on. What effect will that actually have on their racing? Is it to do with the tyres and the
most
warm-up
definitely,
on the tyres?
Most definitely. And the reason I choose the settings is to make it interesting, so that you're always questioning your tire choice. Is they've got an option between the hard and the soft compound. You're going to start off with clear, so the track temperature should be up to round about just under 50 degrees or so. But then as you start going into the race itself, it's going to cool down, but then you're going to heat them up again near the end of the race. Remember, we do have a 40-minute race. The trick, however, is that the tyre wear is actually on accelerated. And as I say accelerated, we just see Bruno, he's now gone past and put in the fastest time and taken off 0.1 off Jakes' preliminary pole.
I just want to say thank goodness we had the cam on him, because it was actually a brilliant comeback right towards the end of qualifying, which is now completed. So yeah, fantastic stuff from Bruno. Jake's there, and then I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, because on my screen it says FFO.
Yes, big power slide there by Bruno. And in one of the posts I actually put up on Facebook, I said you've got to be careful of that curb, because you can get yourself extremely sideways. I'm actually glad that Bruno actually did that, because it just shows that it's actually not only me that does it. Quick shout out to Gavin. He'll be racing in the next lobby. Oh, Bruno putting on some style points there. I think those rear tires were heated up. Gavin will be racing in the Bravo tier directly after this, so he's also jumped on to say how's it. So Gavin, thanks so much for joining. At least you'll know what you'll be in for.
Is that Gav Pick?
It's not Gav Pick. This is a Gav GTZA. Gav's actually joined us from the other racing group, the GTSA. I don't think we have any problems. pronouncing them, so it's all good. But he has moved across and has decided that he definitely wants to come do some racing with us. And that is qualifying complete.
Yep. And as we are the advocates of promoting online racing in South Africa, I mean, what a great opportunity to bring people together and actually enjoy an evening of fun racing these virtual cars and actually putting them through the paces.
Most definitely. And guys, if Project Cars is not for you, you'll see just coming up on the screen now is the South Africa Academy of Online Racing that is hosted by Savvy. That is the website coming up, so if you'd like to get involved with some F1, go have a look and yeah, go do some F1.
Making me
Hi,
shy
Dane.
there, making me shy.
This is what my face looks like. Dane saying, Dylan, I can see your face. Indeed, that was the whole point, Dane. See, I've got big pearly whites. Alright, I'm just going to jump into the holding lobby just to give the guys a quick debrief, and we will be back. Okay, the guys they're currently in their 2-minute holding pattern, just awaiting to just get their setups locked in and ready to go. And yeah, really looking forward to this first race. It's been 4 weeks coming since we ended our last season and made a little investment just to get some actual streaming stuff up and basically bring you the show. Careful into turn 1, Ross. I could not have said that any better, but these guys have been racing together for a while now. Let's just hold thumbs, I suppose, and just make sure that that's it.
Okay,
they have
sync
synced.
has happened.
That is
let's
correct.
Watch what's going to take place. You're going to take us away there, Dylan.
It is green lights and away we go. Well, that was a great jump there. That looked like Dirkie, who moved out from behind of Jake's. Bruno, he's now moved himself into the inside, coming into turn number 1. Chris has decided to go around the outside, but that, yes, is side by side. Bruno and Chris coming into turn number 3. We'd like to say that's 2, but there's actually a little chicane there that actually makes up turn 3. But they all seem to be away. Clearly no bumping in the background, which is absolutely great to see. And I just having a little chuckle to myself. Andrew always talks about him being stuck in 6th position. And Bob's your uncle. There's Andrew in 6th. Little move down to the inside. Jake's on Dirkie. Great overtake there by Jake's, and Christopher's did see him coming. But now Dirkie's going to have a much better run coming out of that. I almost stumbled there with the corner name. Let me just get up my track list. I don't want to stuff that up. And there it is. That is Tora Vip. I almost said Ponta, but that would have been completely wrong. Bruno leads with Christopher in 2nd, and Dirkie is putting all kinds of trouble on the rear of Jake's. And that is Gerard in the blue. He's also going to get way up into the front and get into this mix. Definitely wants to be tangling up with the front boys. But it's quite interesting that Dirkie, he is putting so much pressure on the back of Jake's. Well, sorry, I got that wrong, but Dirkie's moved ahead of Jake's is what I should have been saying. But I'm just so freaking excited that things are panning out the way they are. Jonty, big ups to you. How's it? How you doing? Thanks for signing in and coming to see what Sarco is all about. Great onboard shot there. And these cars do definitely get the benefit of the slipstream. You know, going into turn 1 is enough space. Will Dirkie see him coming? Jake decides to rather just let that go, but now Dirkie's gone wide, but Jake tightens up. Dirkie might get a time penalty, so he might have to just slow down into first gear through Lagos. Flat out over the little ridge turn number 5. The car wants to just slide away from you. You can see Dirkie's just dropped a little bit of that pace just behind him. It looks like Andrew, he's actually moved up a position ahead of Gerard. Gerard now down into 6th place. Oh, little tag.
Little bit of a nudge there.
Yeah, I think Andrew just had a little bit too much slipstream following Dirkie into turn number 6.
Obviously looking for that opportunity now. I mean, Dylan, here we go.
100%.
Hundreds, and it looks as though this is what we're seeing right behind Andrew at the moment. There's a little bit of a nudge to say, I'm also here, don't forget about me.
But I'm actually quite interested to see that Vince and Jacques Racing, they're actually further down the field. I honestly thought that they would be further up here in this battle. But now that's Dirkie making a mistake, and oh, Gerard nearly going up right up the back of Dirkie. But now that's Dirkie down 2 places. Andrew, he now moves himself up into 4th place. Gerard, he's now gone to 5th, and Dirkie now 6th. And that is Duppy, he's in 7th with Marshall representing the Chasing Beavers. He's in 8th place. Ronaldo, he is holding fast in 9th, and Hugh, who Khanet met you, he's in 10th place with our craziest Mullis driver.
Just to put you up there, Bruno looks as though he's got some real competition coming
that's
up.
You can see that Chris has actually taken the place away from Bruno, and they're fighting once again. A little cutback. Great move there by Chris. That will give him the lead into turn number 3. Now into turn 4. Down into first gear. Will Bruno be on the outside? If we can just jump to the outside view there, Savvy, please.
There we go on the inside, back with our 2nd place driver. Don't forgive me for not even trying to pronounce that.
His name is Christopher. His nickname on the Sarco Discord is actually Foldover because of his name, but it's actually the folder because of his surname.
So I'm going to leave it as fold over.
I'm not going to tell you who gave you that nickname. That's for sure. Well, Bruno's a little bit wide. Chris tightens up into turn number 9, side by side down the hill. Now through the little kink here. Turn number 10. This is Craig Jones. Very strange name for a Portuguese track. Oh, that is extremely close. Sevi, do you mind just jumping trackside for us, please? I just want to see what's happening, how far the other guys are behind us.
We'll give you that as well, just to give you a bit of trackside, because
that's exactly what I was seeing. Is that Jake's? He's now made this a 3-way horse, a 3-horse race.
A 3-way race.
Just 3-way horse, guys. This is a 3-way horse. But look at that great shot. 3 drivers. And that was one of the things that we had picked up, and that was through the practicing, is that when the guys are battling, all you're able to do is just keep those lines going, and it just closes up some time. Look at that. 3 wide into turn number 1. This is on. This
is what makes it exciting.
I don't even know who's first. That's it, side by side.
Here we go.
Jakes goes from 3rd place all the way into front. 100%. And like Chris would say, flat out. There's Bruno moves to the inside. That's Chris. He's whoa! I don't think Jakes even knew he was there.
He was making sure he kept that nose out in front there, Dylan, to obviously
Yes,
make sure that he was going to stay right there. But let me show you now, Dylan. Watch Bruno. Watch Bruno now.
Yeah, he got the tighter inside line. What a great move, because now he's on the inside for this kink at turn number 7, but that puts Chris on the inside here for the next turn number 8. Got to stay off that inside curb.
To watch that. Here it goes.
So if you just jump down to 4th place, because I can see that Andrew, he's now starting to get some pressure there from Dirkie, and just behind him is Gerard. And there's a Dupi for TTR. There's battles happening all over the place, and this is exactly what we want and what we expected to see in racing these cars. Yes, Ross, I know I got that completely wrong. Ross just reminded me of my 3-way horse.
So I tell you what now, it's 6th position.
Does that Dirkie manage to get on the inside of Andrew? And if he's not careful, Gerard might go around the outside. But Gerard now got that inside line there. Andrew is wide. Gerard has got that line. So Andrew will now unfortunately drop down 2 places in a matter of that 1 corner. And look at that, up in the top of the screen is that we still have our 3-horse race. Oh man, I definitely see a shirt coming with that. Most definitely. Sorry guys, I've got to keep hydrated. Dirkie was
going to pop back to Duke now.
Whoa, he moves to the inside of Gerard. Will he get the place into... Oh, that was so close. That was so close. But now Andrew's got the inside of Dupi, so he will now drop that place back from Andrew. Great racing. Now it's actually, you can see what that's done is it's allowed Marshall, who's in 8th place. He's now got within a second of this pack. So all of a sudden, we now have a 5-horse race. See, I got it right this time. Oh, oversteer there. That was a bit of an oversteer by Marshall. He obviously got on the power a little bit too early, a little bit over eager. Hadn't allowed the car to settle.
We're going to go back on board with Andrew now.
Oh, you see, there's Marshall. Had a little bit of a slide there. That's just touching that inside curb on turn number 8. You've got to be so careful there. Because if that rear lifts, and the natural instinct for you is to want to turn it in, but all you're doing is just oversteering the car like that.
Oh,
that was
like
Andrew. Yep.
I mean, obviously, what I'm interested in is seeing this particular little bargee going on.
So we see that the guys up front have just opened their gaps ever so slightly, so that Chris has moved himself 0.7 away from the 2nd place driver Jakes. Bruno, he's dropped down nearly a second now.
Now, is that a name? Is that a name change?
For who?
V-Dub.
Yes. So previously he was SR. But he's gone back to his roots and gone back to his original profile of V-Dubber.
V-Dubber. There we go. But it has been a change because, I mean, in the past was SR, as you say, SR V-Dubber, and now back to V-Dubber. That's, okay, so I know who that is now.
Yes.
Car number 55
is Gerard V-Dubber, and that's Gerard with a D and a T at the end. Gerard. It's like, that's how I remembered it.
Gerhard.
It's not Gerhard. Like, oh, there we go. Back to our, what did I say, 3-way horse. There we go, Ross. Our 3-way horse is live and kicking.
What, it's lovely racing. Lovely racing. I mean, really close. Nice to see Bruno coming in there, looking for that tight spot to get past Jakes there. But Jake seems to fend him off. And obviously going up a little bit closer here now. Dylan is...
I'll say very tricky little section here, turn number 11. Portimao, great move there by Bruno. Jakes was a little bit wide. He missed that apex. Bruno had actually braked a little bit earlier than Jakes, and Bruno goes for the inside, but did not get that place.
He was checked. He was checked there.
Chris saw him coming and just closed that door. But what I did like about that is that they knew that Chris knew that Bruno was coming, so he obviously didn't just cut him off, and that Bruno knew that I'm going to have a go. If he closes the door, at least I'll have enough space to just back off.
Up the hill, through start finish type area here, going down to the first corner. Here they go, and sort of the lap speed seemed to be getting a little bit quicker there, Dylan.
Yes, so that lap time that Bruno's done, the 1:59.1, that's the fastest that I've seen in some of the practice lobbies that I was involved in. The guys we were kind of just breaking at 1:55.6, but I think that we might actually see that 1:58. I haven't seen one yet, but as the cars burn off some of that fuel, they are going to get quicker, but it all depends on what the tyre strategy is for the guys.
So basically, round about 27 minutes left of this race, 27 minutes and 8-9 seconds, you know, round about there. And I mean, it's who can actually finish at the finish end within that time period. That's my understanding.
Well, the fuel in these cars is pretty light, so they're not going to need to fuel. Tires might be an issue, but there is the harder or softer compound. Great move there by Jakes, but that still has Bruno on the inside here for Portimao. Very close between the two of them, but Bruno will have the fastest line through, so he will hold that place. But very good to see Jakes still having a little go. He had a great drive coming out of turn number 9, which then put him on the outside of Foster line going into turn number 11. But really great to see that the guys are still trying to use all the track, find different places to put the cars, and essentially just try and make up new lines and not necessarily actually follow the racing line. While this action carries on there, Savvy, please just jump to Andrew there. There's some red highlights coming up there, so those guys are still very much at it. So that's Andrew down into 6th place, and that's Duppy. He's now behind him. We are 15 minutes into this 40-minute race.
I'm just going to go to RVR just to see what's going on there, but you can see the whole bunch of them going down that start-finish area now.
So RVR, that is Ronaldo. Ronaldo joined us halfway through last year. I've actually had the opportunity to meet Ronaldo while I was down in Cape Town for my December holidays, and we had a little spur. Obviously we had the kids with us, a little spur lunch. It was really cool just to catch up, and some of the guys that will be racing later on, that is Ash Tubbs. He'll be in the Bravo tier. I also got to meet him.
Fantastic, and that's what it's about. It's about community, it's about enjoying one another, and especially when it comes to virtual racing. I mean, South Africa is growing in a fast way when it comes to online racing in South Africa, so it's a great thing about doing this. I mean, and it doesn't cost that much, let's be honest.
100%.
Unless you want to broadcast, then it costs you quite a bit.
Yeah, if you do want to broadcast, let me know. Let's have a heart-to-heart discussion, and I'll tell you some of the troubles. I actually missed a comment that came through on YouTube, and John T, he is actually one of the developers there at Mettlestate. So obviously we're running our back office. Oh, great move there by Bruno, taking the lead, but has he gone too wide, too loud? Chris back coming through turn number 14. Yes, so Chris will take that place straight back from Bruno. But now Jakes will have the advantage of both slipstreams coming down the main start-finish line. So I actually wonder whether Jakes will actually leapfrog these two and go into first place, going to that first corner. Just quickly on my point before they get there, is that John T, obviously the guys at Mettlestate, they do a lot of first-person shooters. That was very close. But Bruno takes that lead back. Yo.
How much medication have you had this
I've had plenty. I promise you. I've had plenty. Can't you see the sparkles in my eyes?
Oh, a little bit of surgery done on Bruno there.
Unfortunately, I looked away from the screen, so I did miss that.
But Jake's had a little bit of a hello. Let me see if I can just rearrange you a little bit. Not too much, just a gentle nudge, but it seems as though Bruno's coming back anyway.
Oh,
Jake's is
walk up
tucked
there.
in. Jake's is coming in, looking for that opportunity, and here we go. I mean, staying in the slipstream here. Look at that. Really, it's like watching perfect motion between these drivers at the moment.
Jonty's question here was he's been wondering what this racing thing is, because obviously the Mettlestate guys do a lot of first person shooters. Thank you. That's a tongue twister, that one. And it's so great to be able to have partnered with the guys from Mettlestate, who are doing the back office for us. We did the registration through them, and you can definitely go check out their website, mettlestate.com, and you'll see all the highlights of this racing as well as the points. Well, there's Durkee. He's moving up a couple of places there. I just out of the corner of my eye saw the flicker. So Durkee, he's gone up into fourth.
I'm going to go on him at the moment. You can see there's a big battle going on even down here with Quicksilver and V-Dubber. And even if we want to just go a little bit further back, I just want to show you 10th spot. Just have a look at that, Dylan.
That's Dupi, and that's Dane in 11th place. So he's moving up. And Vince, he's way down in 12th place. I'm not sure whether he had much car time, but he's generally good at an arrive and drive type scenario. But he definitely is struggling at the moment.
I'm just going to put it to you, it's these GT5s, man. You know, they're lovely little monsters to drive, I tell you that much. And also, you know, if you just want to pitch up and race, I don't think that's the wisest decision. Even if you are quite talented, there definitely has to be some practice, I'm sure.
Without a doubt. And that's just to make sure that you've got your lines are on point, that you know where the braking points are, so while the cars are, I say, easy to drive, they can definitely catch you out. So we are just about halfway in this race, and to be handling this pressure that these guys have been operating at, it really is great. I'm just wondering now if Bruno has had a little bit of damage there, because he seems to be just falling off the pack there ever so slightly of both Chris and Jake's. Okay, he has got it back into a second, starting to lock up. So sadly, we're at that point now where the tires are going to start making a difference, and I'd love to see whether guys actually will start going in and making those pits. Is that even part of the strategy? I wouldn't even know.
I think obviously being the first race of the season, Dylan, you know, and also this track is pretty tough on tires. So and I think the climate conditions coming through are obviously going to indicate whether they're going to be doing a pit stop or not. But we'll have a look and see if that strategy comes into play. But I think up front here, I think a lot of people are worried about what to do, because there is just no space to make a mistake at the moment with these three.
No, not at all. Because as soon as you make that one mistake, the other one is right up behind you. I just got a message from Ash Tubbs to see whether he's racing tonight. Yes, sir, you are racing. At 9 o'clock. So don't forget, guys, that we do have the Bravo tier directly after this race in less than 20 minutes time. I just hope that the message is not going to come through, otherwise we're going to see Ash actually replying to my message. I've just responded to him on PlayStation Messenger. Thanks, Ross. I got your message on WhatsApp now as well. So Jake's and Chris inseparable at the moment. Bruno, not sure whether his car's running at its full potential, because he should be right up with there. But that's Chris has gone wide. Will Jakes have an opportunity to go around the outside? No. Chris leaves him enough space, but just closes the door and says, no ways, Jakes. Ek weet jy vat die kakkie, but I'm closing the door. As you can see, his name is on the screen, so I wasn't saying a brash word. Thank you for changing it there, Zappy. There we go. See, Jakes Fatikaki. Can we have one look? Oh, that was so close. I honestly thought that they would have a little touch there, but really glad that it wasn't. But that's Bruno right back up there, so that slipstream has definitely helped him. Oh, was that Jakes that has gone wide? 3 wide going into turn number 5. Bruno's right back up there, so I was just thinking he might have just been taking it easy. He's just cooling off those tyres, and now he's, as you can see, weaving across the track, trying to find another opportunity to get in. A great move. He's very tight.
There it is.
Oh, that is very unfortunate.
No, very unfortunate there.
Bruno, unfortunately, he bounced off that inside curb, straightened out, and I'm not sure whether it was Jake that actually had seen that he was so close, and unfortunately pushing him off. So that means that he would now, Bruno would be dropping down a little bit further. So very unfortunate to see that.
Yeah, I think there is somewhat a little bit of damage there. If I have a look at 7 seconds, and I mean he did carry on straight. Let's just go down there and have a look. Maybe it seems you can see the distance now taken from the top of that hill to where Jakes is. There is somewhat of a distance, but just going up front now with Jakes again, there is a bit of pressure being applied there.
What is actually interesting is I actually missed it, and I kept telling myself I need to keep checking, but you can see Bruno did a 158.8 in that last lap, so he definitely got a great tow. So I'm not sure whether his car was damaged, but is that a pit stop? Yes, it is. That is Christopher going off into the pits, so that has now completely changed the whole dynamic of this race. I'm not sure if there's going to be any other guys coming in for those tires. That is pretty awesome. Donkey,
And
I can't take your call, bro, but I'll send you a message, alright? Please text me.
It looks there. It looks as though that obviously that was almost a drive-through through the pit area. Jake's now in the commanding position, lap number 13, 15 odd minutes to go in this race session. And I tell you what, it looks as though Bruno now has tapped in. He's 8 seconds behind. Then we have Quicksilver. Let's just pop on there because there is definitely V-Dubber right on his tail at the moment trying to get past him. So I can tell you now, look how close this is. Let's just go on to V-Dubber at the moment. V-Dub looking to see if he can get past Quicksilver now to get to that 3rd spot.
Yeah, that was very interesting. With less than 50 minutes to go, I did not honestly expect there to be a pit stop. But Chris has obviously decided that these tyres are getting very soft, they're overheating, and would rather risk trying to make up that 23 seconds with a fresh pair. I just need to put up a post because, guys, I think they're phoning me for the invites, but to say that we are running about 10 minutes. Is that minutes? 10 minutes behind. Invites at 9:10.
Just want to confirm, are you muted or are you saying that on?
So I didn't get that. All I got was bubbles.
I said, are you muted or you have that on the live stream?
No, that was on the live stream. I want it to be natural. I want to be honest. I'm
to be
open.
10 minutes behind.
I literally just typed it up on the Discord, so I'm not sure whether I don't think it was on the screen. The guys watching on YouTube, you didn't see me typing that, right? You could see me physically typing, but you didn't see it coming up anyway. Oh, bugger!
I hope not.
I forgot to change this thing. So your South African Academy of Online Racing has been scrolling this entire race.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, guys.
Only a pleasure, Savvy. Only a pleasure.
Thank you. So listen, let's just give you an update of what's going on. First of all, when I saw Chris going in, the problem was he didn't do his pit stop. He just drove straight on through, and I don't know if that's a graphic problem, but he didn't stop. He just carried on straight through. They didn't even do a change of tires. So I think that's obviously affected him in a big way, because he lost approximately 23 seconds in the pit area.
But if he drove straight through, did you see him actually pull off to the side at all? Because if not, then that's a drive-through penalty.
No, he pulled off into the pit area, went through the pits. The mechanics were looking at him. He didn't stop and went straight on past. So that's what, and I mean, that is on the stream. You can actually see that. So I'm wondering what actually happened there, because normally you've got to brief it.
Yeah, so Ross is saying he might have got a drive-through from the start. So guys, if you're watching, just give us a comment there. What do you think Chris actually stopped for? And we'll ask him after the race. But what were you doing, bro? If you didn't have to pit, why did you?
Good talking point for after the race there, Dylan. Good. You know, what you're supposed to know.
Well, I'm losing you there, Savvy. I'm losing you there. So we'll just jump back to that. Currently in circulation is Bruno. He's in second. We'll recap on the total points. We're 15 laps into this 40-minute race. So the guys should do just on about 20 laps. Jakes, he leads with Bruno second. That is Durkee. He's in third place with Gerard behind him, less than a second in fourth. Chris, he's now down into fifth place with Marshall. He's up to sixth. That's a great result for Marshall. Ronaldo, he's in seventh place with our Mal Jacques. He's in eighth place with Andrew. He's down in ninth place with Dane in 10th. Hugh, what's the matter with you? He's in 11th place with Vince. He's in 12th with Duppy in 13th position. And it feels like we've lost somebody. That puzzled look. I can't remember who it was now. I was just thinking of them. No, I'm gone. I lost it.
No, we started with 13. When I saw the start of this race, it was 13 drivers. There's been no DCs. I think there's been just so much action at the moment, Dylan. That's why you're probably a little bit confused. But there were 13 when we started. So cool. This race.
Savvy, please, can you jump to sixth place there for me?
Sixth place,
there
we are.
See, I was right. It was Jacques. Jacques Racing, he disconnected. He's just put a message up on the Discord. Jacques, so sorry to have lost you, man. That definitely happens way too much for you. But we'll see you next week.
Sorry, Jacques, I didn't mean to diss you there, but you did disconnect. Sorry, mate.
So that is Gerard. He's in fourth place. Then we have Chris, but we are watching Marshall, and Marshall, he's chasing down Mal, and just in front of him there's going to be a very interesting battle there. That is Jacques taking on Ronaldo. So Gavin, he's saying that nope, that he saw nothing, and Colin saying could be a error on the pit strategy. Well, if that is the case, that is pretty damn distressful. Well, in Chris's defense, he's managed to get back 2 seconds, because he was 23.5 seconds behind. Now he's only down to 21. See the guys are having a little bit of a conversation here on the Discord. It's actually quite funny. Don't worry, Johnny. Johnny Speed, you will get your turn, son.
It's all in the name. It's all in the name. Johnny Speed. There we go.
So less than 8 minutes to go at the beep. Beep. Jeez, I nearly got that wrong, but now at least it is 8 minutes, and you can see that the lap times have dropped down. Jake's up front there. He's whoa! That was very, very cheeky there, Andrew. Little push there going Marshall, but there's Andrew just moving over to the side, giving the place back to him. But now I wonder if Andrew will just back off to give that place back. Not quite sure what the arrangement there was, but I think Andrew did dive into that corner a little bit too aggressively, maybe just missed that braking point. There's Andrew just moving over, allowing Marshall to go past. So a great sportsmanship there by Andrew. You can see there he's just tucked in behind him. Well done, Andrew. Great sportsman there. Yes, Jacques, man. Sorry about that disconnect. You know, we must apologize. We didn't see you down in the 14th place. I hadn't switched the crossover, but yeah, sorry that you disconnected. Really, really unfortunate. So Jake's the Black Mamba. He still leads with just on about 3 laps to go. Bruno, there was a bit of contact between himself and Jake's. Going into turn number, if my mind, yeah, 6 would have been the correct answer. So Bruno unfortunately just losing track with losing pace with the front there, and then a very interesting decision by Chris, who's now in 5th place. He was part of the lead pack. He peeled off with 14 minutes to go into the pits, and we're still not sure why he had done that, and we will definitely be asking him that in the post-race questions.
Yeah, Dylan, I hope you have the beep button available.
I have warned them
especially
to please
when we go
not
into
do
the
that.
interview.
That
Yeah,
this
it's,
is a
clean-
family channel.
Clean cut racing. It is, and it's clean cut, so we got to be nice and clean when we're talking on this channel, because it is a family watching channel.
I see there's
And
a
here we
shout
come
out.
through now. Look at this.
Oh, side by side into the corner. That is Durkee. Great move there. So Durkee holds on to that 3rd place. So with 2 laps to go, and I see that the guys for Ross, I don't know who you're talking about, but who was what thinking? And we've just got a message here from Christian saying, "Come on, Dane." So lots and lots of support coming through. Colin, shave before the race, all clean, savvy. Very, very nice there.
So let's just flick up to Bruno. And Jake seems to be very comfortably set now in that top position. 4 minutes to go, just 4 minutes and let's say 23 seconds left of this race. And you can see the distance now has extended substantially.
Yeah, all that's happened is that Jakes and Bruno, they're now circulating at the same speed, and all that's going to happen is they're probably just going to settle in for these last 2 laps or so, and just put the points in the bag. And the messages coming through the Discord that some of the guys are saying that they don't know what was happening. They don't know why Chris had done that. It was just so weird. Is that they went back and have been watching, and they don't know why he would have gone into the pits. It doesn't look like he had jumped the start. So that's definitely an interesting question for Christopher in his first race here in the first season 3.
Okay, so just a quick one for me. Is Chris, is this his rookie event or
So
rookie
Chris,
season?
he actually joined us halfway through the LMP. So he joined us for 3 races in the LMPs, and he was always right up there. And the last LMP race of the season, he actually landed up winning ahead of me. I unfortunately could not tow him down there in Zhuhai in the rain, and he just kept that 6 seconds away. That was Gerard rejoining the track. I think coming out of turn number 5, he obviously hit that outside curb. He then spun it around, so he's now dropped down. He was battling with Durkee in 3rd place. He's now dropped down to 5th. So that's Chris basically being able to resuscitate some points at least, and now moving himself up into 4th place.
Well, I tell you now, I think he's got Quicksilver in his sights because he's not holding back anything
Yeah,
at this
good.
point in time. We're on lap number 20 coming up, or lap number 19. 2 minutes left in this particular session, guys. And I want to know from the...
Oh,
look
that's
at that!
Durkee
Oh,
into the
Durkee.
wall. I think he would have touched the inside curb coming into turn number 10, that Craig Jones, and that probably would have lost the rear, and as he tried to straighten it, overcorrected and put him into the wall. But Durkee now, lots of damage on that front of the car. He's now in 4th, and I'm sure Gerard would have seen Durkee rejoining the track, so Gerard's going to be wanting to move himself up the position.
So, I mean, basically the top 3 now are going to finish as the top 3. Because we've got 1 minute and just 1 minute, sort of 30 odd seconds left in this session.
So it all depends on where Jakes is on the track. If he can get around the track before that timer stops, that would be the last race. I mean the last lap, sorry. I was just looking in the background, I got distracted. But there's Gerard going past Durkee. So Durkee, after that mistake, he now will drop down from 3rd place into 5th. And Gerard now moves up into 4th.
So here we go. It's going to be round about 1 minute left of this racing. If they could possibly get round, I would have been interested to know what do you think the final time is going to be. But I mean, Jakes has slowed down tremendously. I think he's gone into relax mode. No pressure happening at the moment. So Bruno 6 seconds behind him, and I'm not seeing any change in the times. It's actually being increased at the moment. There we go, up to 7 seconds on this particular stint, and you can see right now he's coming. So his tires, as you mentioned, Dylan, are really playing havoc with him, and they have to really be just watching themselves as they're going around this track at the moment.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, this will be the last lap, so we'll see that timer will run out before Jakes crosses the line to begin lap number 21. So this now will be the last corner of this race. So Jakes, having battled with Bruno as well as Chris for the good half of this race, with little contact with Bruno coming out of turn number 6. Flashing lights for the Black Mamba driver, and he now crosses the line to take the first win here in this GT4 series in the Ginetta 40, the G40.
There we go. Bruno now coming across second, and then Chris
in 3rd.
Let's see where he is.
So Chris has already crossed the line.
There we go. I see him now coming through.
That's him there.
And then
it will be
Dubber.
Gerard. There he is in 4th place.
There we go.
With Mal coming in 5th. That's a great result for him. Ronaldo, he'll be happy with his 6th place. Durkee in 7th, with Marshall a respectable 7th place, and I think that was because of a time penalty that you see that Marshall, he actually moves up ahead of Ronaldo. Andrew, he's down in 9th place, with Dane in 10th place. Hugh, he will cross the line. There's Hugh coming through the last corner, turn number 15, for the last time of this race.
And then obviously going on to Vince. And he's a little way back at the moment, but I mean, still respectable regarding this particular. And then we have Dupe from
the TTR team.
Turtle TTR. I mean, maybe you can actually just give a little bit of an idea to the audience who's actually racing, what teams are there. I know that we did, well, actually you did a number of videos, but you obviously just put it up there.
So let's just jump into the lobby and let's just go see what's happening. Well done, guys. That was a great racing there.
I think that the question is, we're actually going to ask that. So,
Please.
The first question we have is going to go to Christopher. Christopher, great drive there from you in your first season from the beginning. We just all have a question. The guys on YouTube were asking, what are you doing? Did you jump the start? Or what was your theory going into the pits?
And theory for the pits, I'm an amateur. I made a mistake.
we just love that honesty. I tell you what, the guys on YouTube are just gonna they're just gonna commend you for your honesty there. I'm telling you.
And then Bruno, you finished off in second place there. A great result there for you. A little contact between yourself and Jakes. I don't think that he saw you making that great move, and a little touch, and unfortunately just unsettled you. Do you think that there was a fair move?
No, it's all good, man. It got a bit crazy at the front, 3 wide, swapping positions, and would have been interesting to see what runner got out of the corner. But I mean, we were so close. There's not much you could have done. But great racing at the front. I really enjoyed it. It was epic, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Awesome.
There was awesome racing, guys, from all round.
And then Jakes, your first win for the season. How do you feel, buddy? My Jakes.
Feels awesome. I can't believe it to beat guys like Christopher and Bruno. I mean, just a big one for me.
So you got bragging rights.
Oh yes.
Jakes, you got bragging rights for this week, eh?
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
Alright guys, thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to be exiting the guys out of this lobby, and we'll be starting with the Bravo tier starting soon. We'll catch you shortly.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Awesome race.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dylan.
Right, cheers.
Guys, so we are live on the stream. We just having some technical problems. Some guys, oh, there goes my controller. Some guys are just clashing. It's Peter and Stephen are just not being able to join the lobby. So please just hang 10. We will get you going shortly. Alright guys, we are back. Unfortunately we have lost Stephen and we have lost Peter, not being able to get them in the lobby with some clashing issues. Please, Project Cars, help us. How do we resolve this? The guys have unrestricted their nats. We've changed MTUs, we've changed all our DNS settings. Why does this keep happening? Alright guys, I know that we have gone into the lobbies to do the qualifying, but just quickly, just remember that we are here to race, but we're also here to have fun. Just ensure that you give the drivers enough space and enough some room. Race hard, race fun, and welcome to the start of the GT5 Championship here at Sarco. There have been some guys who haven't been able to race, but I'm sure we'll get the numbers up in the next one. I'm signing out. We'll see you at the end. I'm getting myself confused. It's not here, it's there. Savvy. Hello, Savvy. Or you're not in the chat party. It means I must just go back.
Definitely, I'm definitely.
Oh, you're here, you're here, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Here we go.
Oh!
So there we go. We're just on with Johnny Speed at the moment. Just having a look at.
Sorry guys, I dropped my laptop and it just reset the stuff. But we're back, we're back. Obviously push some hotkeys because it started the opening video again. So at least I know there are hotkeys enabled. I must now just figure out how to use them.
You know, the thing is, Dylan, obviously, yeah, there's a lot of effort that goes into this. Sometimes,
and this is the first time I'm actually trying this, Avi, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. Gavin's saying he can't exit the pits. Oh, but he won't be able to hear me now.
I think you'll have to go back in just to make sure that he's
all
what
right.
we're going to do, because we're down to 6 drivers at the moment.
Okay, Gav, I've come to help you. Gav, are you out of the pits? Or have you exited? So I think Gavin is actually left because I can see that he's not there. Oh, this mouse, I need to throw it away. So it's actually quite a pity to see that we do only have 6 drivers, where we did have 16 that have entered. Vituris, he is unfortunately away on business, so he can't make it. Devon, he unfortunately is not available. Theo, he's not here. I did think that Kodonks would be racing because he did register his car today. Eleanor, Stigman, both himself and Intrepid Striker, I was expecting them. Paul, he did put in his apologies to say that he couldn't make it. Ronald, I sent his invite and he hasn't joined us, and then we do have Solash and Stephen. Stephen unfortunately disconnecting. Okay, so I see that Gavin did say that he would be coming back. We still have 5 minutes, so he should just make it. And he'll have 2 minutes to get back into the lobby. So Craig, he crosses the line to put in the first lap of a 2:03. That is a Johnny speed. He goes fastest with a 2:03.137. That's 0.04 of a second faster than Craig.
So there's most of the times up at the moment, 1 to 5.
So we're having
See,
quite a problem here because the guys are saying that they can't get back into the lobby. So what we're gonna have to do, Savvy, is unfortunately just abort this one quickly, and let's just get those invites out, because I see those.
yeah, no problem.
Well, there's Gavin.
No problem.
Gavin's just joined us. But
Okay.
yeah, let's just start this again. Sorry guys if you are watching the stream, is that there's just too many guys that have come in and out, and I'd rather us just give everybody that opportunity.
Yeah, I think just put up something on the screen just to keep the stream going, and then
Yep.
we'll go back and get everything sorted.
Right guys, so we have sent out the new invites. Let's see, there comes Stephen. We were battling to get him in the lobby. So still clashing with Stephen. And Peter. Man, this is so frustrating. You see, so what actually happened there is that because there was two guys that were clashing with me, essentially what happened is it just kicks me out. So I'm not sure whether I'm in the actual problem, but I'm hoping not.
Okay, you might have to send the complete new invite because I've been kicked out as well now.
Yeah.
Must say, this is not the norm.
No, it's generally a lot easier to get this get going. Okay, so there we go.
Got to have that custom list made now.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just giving you.
I will do that for sure. But hold on, let's.
Just makes it look.
We'll be
makes it a lot easier.
back.
go, chaps. Let's see how big this is.
Okay, we are back, and still
Let's make that
we're
circle bigger.
not able to get Peter and Stephen into the lobby. Just go back to the chat party, and we are good. Sorry, Stephen. Sorry, Peter. This is not ideal. It's got to readjust the knee. Very good.
So there it is. In actual fact, where we are, Portugal, it's around about 1 o'clock. Nice clear skies, according to the weather report. Is there going to be any change to them?
Change in the weather there will be, because the race will be starting at 2 o'clock and the temperature will be a lot hotter, which as we saw in the Alpha tier. And very interestingly is that the tires did actually last. Jakes, who landed up winning that first race, he did come back and say that the tires were getting a little bit snotty in the end there, so he was just holding on and coasting it around. Let's just bring up the feeds.
100%. I'm just...
So hello Hugh, thanks for coming and joining us. Keegan Skoltz, he says good luck. Vase? Oh, guys, the one underneath. Thanks Jacques for saying how's it, Dane? Enjoy, keep it close. And Keegan, pity it's only 6. Yeah, Keegan, unfortunately we did have some guys that weren't able to get into the lobby. And there were 2 that didn't respond today, and I did get 4 apologies today. So at least when we go to the race next week, we will have a minimum of 11 drivers, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we here, let's focus on the guys that are actually in the lobby. We have 7, so we have Solus, that is Ashley currently in top place, that is Roy, that is Rock G007, then that is Rudy _ base with Craig, I can't remember, it's Craig J something 87 I think, and that's B awesome as me, then that is a Johnny Speed, and that is Gav, the Gavin 58 GTZA.
So yeah, obviously...
Oh, sorry, Savvy, I was going to say some of the drivers that will not be in action today. That is Stephen here, unfortunately not in. Ronald, we were chatting today. He did say couldn't get back to me. Paul, he unfortunately was working late. Paul, actually a new driver who's joined us through Mettlestate. Stigman, I'm not sure where he is. Theo, I'm not sure where he is. Devon, at least he unfortunately is working, so can't join us. And then Peter, a disconnection, very, very, very unfortunate. Peter, one of the new guys that has come and joined Sarco, went and put out all the investment needed to get the rig, to get the game, to get the PlayStation, to come racing with us, and now it's his internet that is actually letting him down. That's actually very disappointing, and Peter, my heart breaks for you. When I was living in Durban, I had 6 months of disconnections trying to run Sarco, so I feel your pain. It doesn't make it right though, but I feel your pain.
So what you're basically saying, Dylan, is you need to move up to Gauteng. That's what I...
Or I'm just hoping that it's not my line that's the problem, because I've had the conversations with my service providers. I've opened everything up, and it kind of fixed the problem with some of the guys that I was clashing with. But there's, for instance, Stephen and Peter. I was racing with Peter not even 2 weeks ago, and we didn't even have a problem. So I'm not sure why now all of a sudden. And then just before that he raced, and then the week before he couldn't, the race after that he could. It's just so frustrating, and my heart really goes out to him.
Just under 6 minutes to go, and I know some of the guys are actually going to try and join in a different manner. So hopefully they can still join. I mean, if it hits the 5 minute mark, they still have the possibility to join us this evening. So hopefully that's going to happen.
I'd say it will time you out with 3 minutes to go. There's a big slide there by Gavin coming up. into Portimao. We saw some action there. There was actually where Durkee, he lost the rear going through there, and that actually cost him 2 places.
Well, the only time that's up at the moment is gap, so yeah, hence we've got to watch now who's going to be coming through with the next time. And I mean, the time is 2 minutes 13 seconds, so let's see. There we go.
So Roy coming around turn number 15. That was a little bit sideways. It looked like a little bit of a counter steer there. Oh no, that's actually Craig going into now turn number 4. This corner is called the Lagos. It is a first gear corner, and then accelerating up into the third. We're going there into turn number 5. I tell you what, Savvy, jump on the cockboard, the cockpit cockboard. I don't know what that is. Oh, shit. But let's jump on board with you pick a driver, and let's actually just go around a virtual tour on the track, and I'll explain some of the lines and the gears.
There we go. There we go. Now I understand what, you know.
Oh man, there's Peter just dropped us a message on the Discord to say, enjoy guys, watching from the couch. Peter, my heart goes out to you, brother. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We're going to go on with Be Awesome As Me.
Okay, so this is Yolan. I always get it wrong. Okay, so this is coming through Portimao, turn at number 11. You can see a little downhill. Then we'll just wait for him to come here through turn number 13. That sounded like he did go down into first, so I'll know for next time round. Then this is Sagrej, turn number 14. He should have gone a little bit wider and taken a little bit of a late apex, but let's go for a little trip down the hill, a last corner, and it is very important to stay very close to the inside because it's going to give you the most of it's actually part of the main start finish. There's the start finish line coming up, and now we're going to be looking to the left hand side. There's a white line there. Now's the braking mark. You're going to go down into third, straight back on the power, keeping it on the track, getting nice up and close here through turn number 3, then hard on the brakes. This is turn number 4, down into first gear. There's second, now into third. That is now a fourth gear coming down the middle straight. This is turn number 6, Toro Vip. Wait for the cones on the left hand side, braking, turning in down to first gear, and you really want to be back on that power, opening it up, tightening up here through turn number 7. And this is the tricky one. This is where we actually saw in the qualifying where Bruno got a little bit too much of that inside curve, and that just sent that rear out and hit a massive power slide coming through turn number 9. Samsung, you can see going up the hill. It is vital to carry a lot of speed through there, otherwise you just lose some of those revs. Then down the hill through turn number 10. Back over the blind crest. You should turn right now. Missed that turning in point, but he recovered it coming through turn number 11. Then straight down the hill. This is turn number 12. Want to drift out just on the black mark, brake down to first gear, turn in, straight back on the power. That was a great early acceleration there by Yulan. At the end of the green, turn in. That's much better. You can see that he's got a much better line. Oh, he shouldn't have counter steered that. Through turn number 14, back on the power. And Yulan is currently lying in second place. It's a much better line. Now you can see he's nice right up against that inside curb. Out of turn number 15 and crosses the line. Not too sure what the lap time's going to be. And he is
203.
202.2. So he is in second Oh, he's dropped down because there is Johnny Speed put a 202.2. Okay, so that was actually the lap times hadn't come up correctly, and Gav, he's now gone second fastest, putting a 202. And there was a lot of smack talk in the lobby between Ashley and Craig. I know that they are teammates in real life, and Ashley hasn't put in a lap yet. Cheers.
Yeah, I think he's stuck in the pits at the moment. This is what I've seen from the start of this race, unfortunately. Or should I say this session. So 7 seconds remaining. We're down to 5 already. And I think that's pretty much done for this particular segment.
So that is the qualifying over. So Craig, he will go and lead the pack with Gavin in second. Yulan is in third. No, sorry, Johnny is in third. Yulan is in fourth place. Then Roy in fifth, Rudy sixth, and Ashley in seventh. But we seem to have some weird stuff going on here, because I see that the session is complete, but we don't have the counter that's actually counting down. So that is very strange. Let's just double check here with a message to Ashley. Yeah, there's definitely something going on here with this lobby, because this is not the guys racing. Ashley, are you still stuck in the pits? Okay, there we go. Okay. So we're going to wait for the little sync to happen, and then we will be racing. And we are down to 6. I think that was Ashley who has been disconnected. But no, Ashley's not disconnected, because there's Ashley in 6th place. So somebody has been kicked out. Let's see, there's Craig, Yulan. It is Roy. We have lost Roy. Okay, that was the sync lights on. Red lights, it is green lights, and we are racing here the first race of the championship in the Bravo tier. But we have a car stuck on the grid. I think that is Ashley. So this has now become a 5 race horse. I did plan that, guys. So we unfortunately had a starting lineup of 16 drivers. We are down to 5. Let's just hope that these guys are able to put on a great show for us. Great move there by Craig, moving to the inside of Johnny. He ran himself a little bit wide, and he opened that door, and that has allowed him to go in, and he's now taken that first spot. with a Gav now charging up behind him. Savvy, are you still with me? So I'm...
Most definitely I am.
There we are.
Most definitely I am.
For a moment there, Savvy, I thought I'd lost you. I was just about to...
No. I was waiting for a little bit of a sign for me to come back on, but I'm here. I'm just watching what's going on, and obviously there are some lovely triangles at the moment.
Indeed. So this is obviously not what we expected. Let's just give the benefit of the doubt to the drivers who weren't able to make the race this evening. But I just hope. Well, that's Johnny going into the pits. I think he might have jumped the start there. That would be the only reason I could expect him to be doing that so early, unless he didn't put in fuel or something.
I changed. He's off. He's taking it back.
It looked like he went in for a splash of fuel, so we'll definitely have to ask him what was going on there.
Oh, they've got him seated for a heck of a long time now, because now we've got Craig coming through. Lap number 2. He's still in the pits there. And I mean, let's just go here.
I just hope that these guys know that I didn't see Ashley's car still on the track there when they were crossing the start-finish line. Oh, I wonder if that was a spin there. No, it wasn't. It looked like he had lost the rear, but he seemed to have just hung on there. So that is Rudy. Whoa, going around the outside, going past Gavin. But now Rudy unfortunately carrying too much speed. Oh, Gavin just slowing down. I think he might have got a time slowdown penalty for going into turn number 11 so hot. Dane's comment from the YouTube was, when you don't pay your pit crew enough. But we see that Johnny, he is now out of the pits, and on my scoreboard it is showing that there are 6 racing.
The problem, what I'm seeing is, there we go, which is...
Oh, that's Craig going... Oh no, it's Craig. That is actually going way too hot. So I'm almost wondering whether he was stuck in the pits because his wheel wasn't responding and decided to actually just go with the controller, because he didn't get away off the line. So there's another question we were able to ask Ashley.
So let's go back up to Craig at the moment. Top of the log at the moment. 2 minutes and 1.601 is his time at the moment. I think Gav's put on a quicker time there by about 200ths. We'll just stick with that because the maths is not so good in the head at this time of the evening.
It's 1.20. If we want to get specific.
Yeah, specific.
There's lots of S's in the word specific. But interesting enough, Savvy, if I look at the lap time that Craig had done with that 201.6, is if we think back to a lobby number 1, that would have put him around about 6th or 7th place.
Correct.
You see, Johnny is having an absolute nightmare. He's back in the pits once again. Not sure
I'm just
what's
gonna go
happening there.
now.
So
Obviously it's
that
standard.
looks like that they've got wet tires there. I'm not quite sure what's happening. I don't know if he hadn't set up his car correctly, and he's now on the wrong tires, and now he's battling to get the actual setup sorted, and they keep putting on the wrong tires.
I know somebody's going to be fired tomorrow morning. Directly after the race. To be honest. Okay, so let's go on board now with Be Awesome as Me. And yeah, it was looking a bit close there, but there is some distance now. Rudy Bays is gaining a little bit on his teammate at this point in time. Here's Gab 58 GTZA. 32 minutes left in racing here this evening.
And Rudy and Be Awesome as Me, they actually are teammates. They actually represent Synergy Racing, and they have been racing with us since the beginning of last year when Sarco was founded. It's always great when you find your teammate and you're able to practice with that driver. You're able to share setups, learn different lines, and it really is great. So good to see them, and I must say that the two of them are pretty decent at Apex Legends. So there's Craig actually starting to shave some time off there. His previous lap was a 2:06, so he definitely is now going faster. So that now is the race pace that Jakes had settled himself into in the last couple of laps, just to win the first Alpha tier race here at Sarco in our season 3 of 2019, and we're in our GT5 Championship in the Janetta. This is the G40. Very, very fun little car to drive.
Yeah, amazingly enough, straight for obviously about 1.8 liters, and as I mentioned earlier on during the stream, if you pick up one of these little standards at a standard pace, you're going to be paying about £39,999.
Oof, my goodness, that's a little expensive car, that. And that was unfortunately Rudy running himself a little bit wide, but I'm looking at the timing and it seems that Rudy's actually starting to gain up on Gavin. So in the next couple of laps or so, we actually might have a little battle with Rudy starting to put some pressure on Gavin.
Absolutely.
And Johnny Speed still having an absolute nightmare. He's done a 2:11. Still not sure what's happened to him there.
Yeah, let's just go down to him, Dylan, and have a look. I mean, the car looks good. It's green and yellow.
That is the color of the Black Mambas.
That's why I drew that in there.
Oh, Johnny Speed not happy there. As you came over that little curb, you see how the rear just let go through Portimao. So I'm sure he'll be a little bit more cautious the next time around there.
Just one thing, Dylan, we haven't actually had a chat on this, but I wanted to know setups, standard, loose, what is it? Anything you like?
So the setups are open. There isn't really much that you can do with these cars. You're able to change the dampers as well as the anti-roll bars, but the spring rates, they are fixed. I did do a little setup of the car which I shared in a little one hot lap number, and I found it works quite well for me. Generally for myself, I like to start off with a loose setup, but I blame that on the karting, as I like to feel the rear sliding out and almost pushing the nose forward, and that's the feeling that I'm always looking for, and I do find that very much from the loose. And then there's a few little tweaks that I'd like to do. Is I like to even out the damper settings. I like them to be reacting, front and back must be reacting the same. There's no point you hitting a bump and the front wheel comes up quickly but the rear comes up slowly, because by the time you have gone over the bump, the tires are not stable, and you just don't have that consistent feel going over bumps. So it means you can't be riding the curbs, where the curbs are great to use for apexes, especially coming out of corners. And on this track there are quite a few apexes which I'd actually be using on the curb itself.
But would you say a particular point would be a guideline for everybody? Or, I mean, obviously there's different styles of drivers, the way they feel, the way they go on. I mean, and also that video you did, is it available on obviously the YouTube channel that they're watching right now?
Yes, so it is in the recent upload. So if you do subscribe to the channel, it will be up there on the uploads. For me, there essentially are the two setups that you can use, which is the soft and the stable, which is actually a softer setup, so it allows the car to roll, so it's giving you more mechanical grip, where the loose is a lot stiffer, but by it being stiffer is that's where that rear is coming out there. But there are two types of feels that you can get. Is you're either going to have the car oversteering or understeering, but you can then fix that by you can make the car oversteer, and that's by either softening the front anti-roll bars, which allows the car to turn in on acceleration, or you're going to get the rear to come around by accelerating and forcing the rear around. It all depends on their personal preference. For me, I like to feel the car turning in, so I have generally a softer front with a stiffer rear, so that on the power, the rear, whoa, there was the Bruno power slide. We've been waiting for one to happen, but Rudy has been matching the times with Jolan. Jolan is now up into third place. Rudy, he's in second. Craig, he's still 16 seconds ahead. Gavin, he's now in fourth, with Ashley in fifth, and Johnny Speed, he's starting to find his rhythm now, going down into the 203.3s. Ashley, he's still struggling there, 208s. So we'll definitely need to see what was happening, because I'm pretty sure that would not be the pace of Ashley, with him actually being a kart driver. There's definitely something that has gone awry there.
So, I mean, obviously, is the visible damage on? Did we put that on for this particular race, or do we just keep it off, or how does that actually work? Because, I mean, we saw quite a few accidents in the previous race.
So the full damage is on. Damage is on, because we saw when Dirkie hit that wall, that front was definitely rearranged, and what that will essentially do is hamper the intake, so hamper your engine performance. And it made it very easy for Gerard. He actually overtook Dirkie coming down the start-finish line to overtake him with that one lap to go, and that's purely because these cars do take damage. So if you're nudging from the front or the rear, they can start changing the feel. If you start damaging your suspension, the car's going to be pulling to the one side. It's also going to be very difficult to manage on the brakes. Ideally, you don't want to be crashing these cars.
Yeah, so I mean, it's skills that we're looking at here. I mean, these guys have really done quite a great job. First session, second session, now we're in the second session, 24 minutes in, and I mean, yeah, we've got a little bit less drivers, but we obviously know the reasons for that. I mean, probably next week we're going to have a lot more drivers, so that's going to be just really full thumbs up there.
Well, all I can say, the guys that are racing now, they just need to finish, and they're going to be bagging some points, and just use that as an advantage.
Yeah. That's basically what it comes down to now. They're in here 1 to 6. They're in the points.
100%.
So the guys that are coming next week, they already have to now really perform in order to get themselves in the points there. And Craig's doing a fantastic job at the moment. I mean,
yeah, he's starting
really,
to close the gap down on his teammate Ashley. And the other thing I'm just keeping my eye on is between Gavin and Yolan. Gavin 4th place, he's now starting to close that gap. So they're almost within 2 seconds of each other. There's Gavin, and that was Yolan. Thank you very much. So these guys are going to be having a battle in the next couple of laps. And I wonder whether Gavin will help Yolan just tame along a little bit and actually start catching Rudy, and then we start having a three-way horse.
Three-way horse. That's what I like to hear. But now, I mean, obviously, what I haven't seen so far is the strategy of the teammates. Are they supporting one another when it comes to this type of racing? I mean, we saw it when we did the internationals. I think sort of last year or the beginning of the year. I can't know. Last year. We saw that in actual fact when we were racing against overseas drivers, a lot of them actually took into the strategy of having team members which were, I wouldn't say blocking, but I would say making it very difficult for, for instance, Sarco team members to come past.
So we have dabbled in some of those international races, and the problem that we always have is that we get told that the lag is an issue. Obviously that signal is traveling very, very far, and it just becomes one of those where, oh no, that you guys touched me, we bumped, we shouldn't have done that. So it just becomes very difficult in that international stage. But most certainly in the previous championships we had, we did have team standings, where here you will be driving with your team, so at least you can practice. But this is an individual championship, and that's purely because we've changed the way that we actually run the league. Is we were racing across multiple lobbies, so you would be racing in the one lobby this week, and the next week you could then be promoted to the next one. This one is, you're in this tier, that is your championship. So the guys are racing for themselves, but there will be help.
Here we go.
There's a great drive there by Gavin. Yep, 100%. I have had my eye on that. Gavin is in the slipstream, so he should, just as he starts going down the hill, he might have a little peek out and go into the braking zone. But Gavin showing a lot of respect there, just sucking up behind him. There, Yolan goes a little bit wide. That might give him a slowdown penalty. Gavin will have a look to the inside. No, he doesn't here. Turn number 4. Yolan really struggling to get that drive like Gavin had got. But I must say that the slipstream advantage that you do get in these cars is pretty decent, especially on that long start-finish straight.
Gavin seemed to be a little bit late on the braking there, which was the right idea. I just think he was on the wrong side, because I thought he was going to maybe try and shoot through. But let's have a sit back and watch what's going to take place. Because
there's the opportunity right there.
Yeah, there it is.
What I was actually going to say is a great overtaking place is coming up here, so you could literally keep yourself to the right hand side of the track like this, and then as you come up over the hill, you see you just sneak into the left hand side and you're literally forcing that driver wide. But that would have been a great opportunity there for Yolan to get that place back. So I was actually quite happy that he was doing exactly what I would have done.
Gav's well aware. He's well aware that obviously being autism as me is going to really try and get behind him. What I'm not seeing is actually being awesome as me looking for that slipstream, and that's what I would be doing, to be honest with you. Dylan is looking to get right in tuck behind him now and see if I could actually push him. He's going a bit wide here now. Oh, what? No.
Gavin's going into the pits. I did not see that coming.
I did not see that come either.
But why?
let's just have a quick overview.
So this might be a strategy, because now this is just about halfway. We'll have to jump out. Oh, you see, unfortunately we're not getting the full simulation of actually what's going on with that tire change, but it does seem like he might be putting some tires on. It should be about 13 seconds. I'm just trying to see his lap time. No, so he has gone over the 13-second stop time, so I'm not quite sure what is going on here, why he's in the pits. But he's definitely stopped and definitely had something done to the car.
I just wanted to see where we were here. But it looks as though Rudy's now moved into, I mean, let's not forget now, Rudy's moved up into second place. Craig's sort of got some distance, 18 minutes gone to go, should I say, 18 minutes to go. And, wow, you know, we've got Craig, Rudy, The Awesome, Gav, Ash, and then Johnny Speed.
So Johnny, his times have actually started coming down, so he's sticking in that 203, so he's Jeff definitely getting those laps ticking in, but being 2.4 minutes behind, that's actually not 2.4, it's 2 minutes 40 seconds, because 2.4 actually doesn't work. You know what it is? It's the meds are kicking in properly now. And that's why I keep drinking the water, because my mouth is so dry.
Okay, so let's go back up to our current leader here this evening, which is Craig, JT83, and he's actually done very nicely here this evening, and really looks to be quite steady on the 2:01 mark, 2 minutes and 1 second. He's sort of maintained that pace. And I think he's quite relaxed at the moment, because he is 27 odd seconds ahead of his nearest rival, which is Rudy.
Yep. The Synergy Racing driver. And it's so good to see that Yulan, he's also, I hope I got that right, Yulan. I keep wanting to say Yolan, but I think it's Yulan, but then I keep thinking it's Yulan, but maybe it's Yolan. Johlan. That's how you spell his name.
It's Yolan. Yolan.
I'm going to message him and ask him.
I promise you, while he's driving. Go on, do that.
Let's rather not.
Yeah, so I mean, as you mentioned quite clearly now, it's an individual race. Team doesn't really come into it per se, because it is an individual championship race, but they're still racing in teams, my understanding.
Yeah, so if I was racing, I would have still been racing as the Black Mambas. So myself and Jakes would have taken the same livery. Then we would have had still within our stable is Andrew, where myself and Andrew, we'd been driving together possibly maybe more than 4 years now as a team. When Andrew was getting some plans to go and travel, that was when we had called the team meeting, and we had extended the Green Mamba team to the Mambas, and we then started the franchise, the Black Mambas and the Green Mambas. So if there were teams, we definitely would be helping each other, but I promise you, when Andrew and I are on the track, we still race each other.
It's still that competitive edge. We're still going
100%, 100%. And I promise you, there's a clip where I did a video. I'll put it in the description, where I was just talking through my race of what I was doing, and I was just analyzing what the drivers were thinking, where I should be. And afterwards, when I got behind Andrew, all he could say to me is that all I'm doing is I know that you're behind me, and you're just saying that he's braking here, he's doing this, and all it did was just make him so nervous. but that's what it's all about. It's all about the fun, and Andrew and I, we do get on very well together. And he obviously has now left the country, but even though he is not living in South Africa, he's one of our internationals now. That Andrew is in Ireland, so he then joins the international club with my cousin Memo, who is in Greece, and then Ross, our Scottish international from Scotland.
But with some South African roots, yeah. I mean, maybe Ross not.
Yeah, Ross definitely not. My cousin Memo, he was born here, and he does always talk about being born in South Africa, but he has a Greek father and a Portuguese mother. I don't know if I could say that. Oh well. Sorry Memo, what's done is done. Hello Auntie Lena.
Here we go.
13 minutes to go. And Yulan is actually starting to close down on Rudy. You can see that time is just closing ever so slightly. Just seen a message pop up here from Roy. Let's just go see what Roy is saying. Game threw me out, very strange lobby issues tonight. Sure, Roy, you are not kidding. So this is me actually typing. Roy, you are not kidding. So interesting enough, in the previous championship, the Lone Racers team, that was actually made up of Roy and Craig.
Yeah, I like the comment there that when you don't pay the pit crew enough. I thought that was quite funny, yeah.
Yeah, Dane was spot on. And you see that Johnny Speed is still just playing around in that 203.3.
So he's been pretty consistent, to be honest. I mean, it's a shame though, because he was right up amongst the top three there, and then all of a sudden something, obviously, I mean, I've had it where the guys are calling you into the pits all the time, you know, so you don't quite understand it, and it might be because of your setup.
So if we actually look at the current lap times, is that Craig, he is circulating the fastest, with Gavin technically should be in second place, with Johnny Speed in third. Then we should have Yolan, Rudy, and then Ashley.
Looking at the times, I can only agree with you, because they're right up there on the screen, and it's quite amazing. Just back on with Craig at the moment. 10 minutes left. I tell you what, there we go. We're going to go back down to Rudy Bays. I tell you what, he's also, I mean, there's the distance, 34 seconds in front and 4 seconds behind.
So if Yolan's going to want to make a move, he's going to have to do it, because there technically are only 5 laps of this race left. And for him to close that time down, he's going to need to be doing at least 1 second quicker than Rudy to catch him, and then at least that 1 second to get ahead. So guys, I'm just checking that I haven't seen a comment, so if you are still on the live stream on YouTube, please just give us a wave, let us know we're still here, because we're still smiling. Oh, Chinese, hello. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Lost the driver. Thanks, Dane. So Dane is still with us. That was Johnny Speed. So I wonder if Johnny Speed hasn't decided to jump out of there.
I think it might have been a DC.
Well, what I can do is I can type on my little keyboard here and ask him.
Doesn't want to face the press. Because we would have had a lot of barging questions on what actually happened there, because I really felt sorry for him. I think the tire, as you mentioned, was quite an issue as well, but I mean that came back as well. Craig is doing exceptionally well. I mean, he's really, I like that, the fact that he's actually maintained that 2 minutes and 1 second. I mean, it's been every lap now, 16 laps. I haven't seen any issues, so he is basically maintaining that. Tires are going to be starting to become a problem because we're on lap 16. They're going to become quite nasty.
So this is probably now going to be the hottest time of the race. So if you've been overheating the tires, remember the tire wear is unaccelerated, so we are going to be wearing down the grip, and the hotter it gets, the faster that grip gets worn down. And it's at this, probably around here where a lot of the guys from the Alpha tier, they were starting to lock up. Bruno was definitely locking up going into turn number 6. There was a few times that he had done that.
Yeah, I think the only problem is we cannot see the tire wear, can we? There's no way we can do that.
But there are some other little features that you are able to play with, so you can bring up the map, for instance, or
yeah, I mean we have the map. There's the map going there now. The times I can show you if you want to watch the overall times. There we go. We've got a couple of penalties in there, by the way. We've got a 4-second penalty on Be Awesome, and we've got a 1-second time penalty on Rudy at the moment. So that could play a little bit in the favour of the others that are actually racing this evening.
Yeah, we definitely have some weird stuff going on, because I can see. Ooh, sorry, I keep forgetting there's a camera here. But I was seeing on the screen that's saying Peter disconnected, Stephen disconnected, Peter joined, Stephen joined. There we go. Now we've got some telemetry up on there, so you can actually see the gears that the guys are in. Pretty fun stuff.
Yeah,
guys, this is the first time that we are doing this. So that means that I need to just fix what you're seeing on the live stream. Is that I'll just move the little Bravo tier tab just out of the way a little bit more there, and drop that Sarco logo just so you're able to see the full screen that I'm seeing. But we're learning.
Well, that's why I put it on, so you know get to see where we need to make these little adjustments.
So Craig has gone quicker than he has been. He's now got into the 2-minute flats. So he's got out of the 2.1. 2.1. He's like the 2-minute 1 second.
1 second. Don't worry. I had to think about that as well. I looked at the screen and said, how do I actually... I thought I was having a bit of a Z moment. You understand?
Yes.
Here we go.
So that is 5. So there's 3 laps left of this race.
Yeah, so just under, as Dylan was saying, just over a little bit of 5 minutes of racing left here. And this is race number 1. What season is it? Just that we have a quick reminder.
Okay, so I kind of use my year first. So we're in 2019, and this is season 3, and we're in the GT5 Championship. Because I always break up the years into different seasons. So we have season 1, season 2, and season 3. I don't keep them running continuously. I don't know why I chose to do it that way. That's just the way I do it.
And like another organisation, you know, it just keeps on going with season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I mean, it is good. It's all good. But 2019 season
3.
3.
That's correct. In the GT5, racing the G40. So how's that for notes to get right?
Here we go.
So Rudy, a crack of a lap there. He's got into the 202.8, so he's found himself just on 1.5 seconds. And Gavin,
Just
he's
putting it on there. Just put him on there. Just have a look. I mean, he seems to be handling the car quite nicely. Craig has gone to a 202.
I think that the guys are getting a little bit tired. We now essentially running 40 minutes later than we anticipated with the little challenges that we had getting the lobby running. But for next week, we'll definitely have it a little bit smoother, and we'll just do some work during the week just to try and get the actual clashing issues. I keep saying trying to sort them out, but we've been at this now for nearly a year and a half, and nobody can explain to us why these clashes are caused when we have the right nat types. We have all the ISPs have been asked to please open up. We have unrestricted nat types. Really just doesn't make sense.
So I just want to mention, I mean, this is now going on to lap number 19. 2 minutes left. We could have a similar lap count as what we had in the previous, in the A league, if I could put it that, the 8 year, if I could put it that way. So it's going to be 20 laps.
Yeah.
Done and dusted. And Craig is almost, and we just need to see where he
So
is.
if we just jump onto Craig, because
That's what I'm doing now.
okay, so you'll see that Craig, he will end off probably about 15 to 20 seconds slower than what Jake's actually won the previous race in. And that's just looking at the consistent times that Craig has been able to put in. But now, so that essentially would be 1 lap left. So when the time runs out, Craig will be very much in a very similar place. So he would be coming out of turn number 13 on the next lap, and we'll see that the timer will end.
So here we go. We've got 1 minute 35 seconds left of this race. Here he goes to start and finish. So it will be 20 laps completed. And he is, or should I say, he'll be in his 20th lap, which is now going to be the 20th lap of this race. Rudy's around about 45 seconds behind the leader at the moment.
Gavin's also doing well now. His time dropped down to a 202.5, so he's also finding himself some pace. I think also just getting a little bit more comfortable with the car.
Lots of practice coming in the coming week. And just a little bit of mention, where is the next race taking place?
You read my mind there, Savvy. Is we are in the next track. We head to the Motorsport Arena Oschersleben A. It is a full-length 40-minute race as we're seeing now. The weather conditions will be slightly different. We're going to start on a hot track, and then we'll have 2 overcasts, so the tire temperatures will drop dramatically. So there's probably about a 15-degree drop in temperature there, so that definitely is going to make it very interesting. And we'll also be
around about 15 seconds left of this race, and we come through to 9, and this is going to be Tier B. Craig is going to take this one.
So that's now coming out of turn number 14, so 1 more turn to go for Craig. Down a gulp, and you go over that little hill, and the car just wants to wash out slightly, and you just have that little feeling of just how the car just lifts, and you get the feedback on the steering wheel, and that really is such a great feeling. And that's it. Craig will cross the line, and he will take his first victory here in round number 1 of the 2019 Season 3 GT5 Ginetta G40 Championship. Oh, I stuffed it up. Championship, not championship. I feel like I'm drunk, Savvy, honestly, but I'm not. I promise you I'm not drunk.
I know that. I can
I'm
see
not
you on
drunk.
the screen. There's nothing wrong with you. You haven't even had. A lot of people are wondering if that's water or vodka.
100% H2O? No,
Yeah.
I'm lying. I'm lying. I put some Oros in there.
So, gentlemen, this is it. We have done and completed at the moment. I'm sure Dylan's just going to give us a breakdown of who is where, and then we're going to go straight into interviews of the top 3 there.
So Craig,
And,
Craig will come home in first place with Rudy in second. Yolan will come home in third. Gavin will finish in fourth place, and we're just going to ask him about his pit stop. And Ashley, he will come home in fifth position. Just changing up the settings so I can go into the lobby.
So, gentlemen, done and dusted this evening.
So we're just waiting for the clock to run down. Just remembering that some of the guys are still focusing, and that's it. So that is the end of the race. Well done, Craig. Great drive there for you. Rudy, a great second place. And Yolan, we thought at one stage that you actually might be catching Rudy. How did you enjoy the race?
And fresh tires. But they changed the tires, but when I came out the freaking pits, my tires didn't change. So I finished tires anyway. I wasted all that time there. I'm going to find my pit crew.
So Gavin, that's exactly what we wanted to know. Is you are live on the stream. Is what made you go and change your tires?
Well, I had a strategy because where I would fuel for half the race, so I can try and get a pull on the guys. But unfortunately, I had one or two oopsies there that set me back. And then when I went into the pits, my plan was having the right fuel and fresh tires. But they changed my tires according to what I saw. But when I came out of the pits, my tires hadn't changed. So my front tire was still off.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And then Ashley, you coming off the line, what happened there? You seem to have just bogged down on the line.
I had a bit of technical failure there. My steering wheel just completely malfunctioned, so I had to quickly switch to the controller, and unfortunately through the whole race I was using my controller, which was...
I was right.
You know, Dylan, you were absolutely right taking that into account there. We stood there, we thought, okay, the car's not moving. What's going on? And then Dylan said, no, I think he's had a complete malfunction on the rig, so he doesn't have a steering wheel.
So Ashley, I even had your back there, because I said that I'm pretty sure that your lap times wouldn't have been so low, is that you probably would have beaten Craig because of all the smack talk you were giving him.
No, flippin' chance. Did you see those lap times?
And then Craig, your first win here at Sarco, how does it make you feel?
No, I like that. I had to be a bit careful on the second last lap, chasing green sectors and tossed it in the first corner. So yeah, but good fun. Looking after tires. I was hurting the motor on my downshifts into the, I think it's turn 3. So I had to watch that a bit. But yeah, good fun.
Cool. And Rudy, there was a time that we actually thought that Yolan was going to catch you.
Yeah, I saw it coming, and yeah, I just tried to keep him behind, tried to get faster sectors, but kept sliding the tires.
Cool. And Yolan, what does it feel like to be on your first podium?
Really, just to say, really, I would have had you in 3 different corners, but every time I kept sliding.
I was just gonna say, you were looking to do a bit of drifting there. Coming closer every time, but really managed to sort of put the brakes on.
All right, guys, thank you very much for the race. Thank you for sticking it out and actually just giving us something that we're able to commentate over. To the guys who are still on the stream, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week, the 19th, starting again at 8 o'clock. We will be at the Motorsports Arena, Oschersleben A. Thanks for watching, yos.
Another great one.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thanks, good race, guys.